Okay, let's get into it. We are stepping into, I think, the most financially aggressive corner of the global iGaming map.
Oh, absolutely.
We're talking about offshore licensing jurisdictions. So if you're running an operation or, if you just need the shortcut to understanding the hidden routes global capital takes, this is for you.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
to do that, we're drawing our insights from the Gambling Database's research team. That's
Yeah,
us.
right.
We're a group that really just dedicates itself to in-depth analysis of this entire landscape.
Hmm.
In our country reports, we cover everything: local regs, tax, player experience.
All of it.
Our whole goal is just to give a clear, data-driven picture of how each market works and, what makes it tick.
And the market we're putting under the microscope today is the Comoros Islands.
Specifically, the Anjouan license.
Yes, Anjouan. It's positioned itself as this direct challenger to hubs like Curacao. It promises speed, it promises cost benefits that seem, well, frankly, almost too good to be true.
And that's the central question, isn't it?
It is. How does it score an 8.8 out of 10 for operator ease, and what are the operational landmines that are waiting for you?
It's the classic offshore paradox. A cheap license doesn't mean your operations will be cheap. It often means a very, very expensive administrative headache.
Let's start with that poll, though, because it is incredibly powerful for a new operator.
Oh, for sure.
Maybe you're a startup, you want to maximize runway, or you're just bootstrapping with like no funds. You see these other jurisdictions, 6 months processing 5, maybe 15% of your revenue gone instantly.
And then you see Anjouan.
Exactly. The elevator pitch is just, what if you could pay zero tax and be licensed in under a month? It's compelling.
The pitch is all about efficiency, and the numbers are pretty startling. The whole jurisdiction has basically engineered itself to be the leanest structure possible.
So what are we talking in terms of actual costs?
Your fixed costs are minimal. The initial license fee, it starts around $17,000. The annual renewal is just over $13,000.
That's, what, a tenth of what you might spend just on setup and legal in some European markets.
Easily. But the real driver, the main attraction, is the tax.
Right.
Or the lack of it.
Right.
They operate a 0% gross gaming revenue tax rate. And crucially, for the kind of company you have to set up an international business company, or IBC, the corporate income tax is also 0.
Wait, let's pause on that. The IBC structure. Why is that specific detail so important?
It's the whole legal mechanism. It's what gives you the tax haven status. An IBC is, by design, set up to do business outside of the country it's registered in.
So since the income isn't from within Comoros.
Exactly. It qualifies for that zero tax treatment on all its global profits. It's how they legally wall off the business for tax purposes, and it lets the operator keep 100% of their profits. Before operational costs, of course.
So that's 0% tax. What kind of a margin lift are we talking about compared to, say, Curacao? They have low fees, but still some tax.
For a high-volume, low-margin business like gambling, that 0% GGR rate is a massive, massive advantage. If your competitor is paying even 2 or 3%, you immediately have that baked into your profitability from day one.
You break even faster.
Much faster. And you can reinvest that capital sooner.
And speed is currency in the startup world. 2 to 4 weeks processing, that's almost unheard of.
It's genuinely rapid. You can go from forming your company to holding a legal, active license in under 30 days.
And Curacao, what's the comparison there?
You're often looking at backlogs, pushing things to 4, sometimes even 6 months. For an operator trying to hit a market window, that speed is absolutely decisive.
I also saw the license is totally unified. It covers everything from sports betting to esports. But the big draw today has to be crypto, right?
Absolutely. The unified license is great, but for the new wave of operators, the explicit inclusion of cryptocurrency gambling is the real headline.
Because older jurisdictions are still trying to figure it out.
They are. Anjouan just incorporated it. It offers one of the simplest compliance paths in the world for a full crypto casino. That means less friction on deposits and payouts, especially in emerging markets.
Okay, and one last thing on operational ease. The source material mentioned a big change about server location.
Yes, that was a huge regulatory update. They got rid of the physical server hosting requirement.
So you don't need to have hardware in the country anymore.
Correct. Before, you often had to use local servers. Now, you can manage your entire infrastructure, your player databases, remotely from anywhere.
That's a huge deal. It cuts overhead, improves security.
And it's a massive win for business continuity. It is truly built for remote management.
Okay. We've laid out the incredible upside. 0% tax, 4-week licensing, crypto-friendly. It sounds almost frictionless. It does. But when something sounds this good, especially in finance, there is always a catch. So let's talk about the friction. This is the reality check. If it's so great, why isn't every big brand flocking there?
They're not there because those benefits are severely offset by what our research calls the reputation tax. The jurisdiction is only rated moderate overall for a reason. The instability costs are immense.
What is the number one operational killer here?
Banking friction. Without a single doubt, banking friction and reputational risk. You save 100% on tax, but you risk losing huge amounts of capital and time just trying to manage your cash flow.
Why are the big banks so hostile to a Comoros licensed company?
It just boils down to the perception of AML and KYC standards. Your major Tier 1 banks, think London, New York, Frankfurt, their internal risk models immediately flag Anjuan or Comoros as high risk.
Or even unregulated.
Or worse, unregulated, yeah. And that designation just triggers immediate intense scrutiny.
So if I walk into a big international bank and try to open a corporate account, what happens?
Your application is most likely declined on the spot. And even if you get one open with a smaller provider, you're facing constant instability.
Like what?
Frequent merchant account closures, sudden fund freezes. It's an endless administrative battle to prove you're legitimate. It forces you to use these expensive, high-risk niche payment processors.
So you save on corporate tax, but you end up paying an effective premium of, what, 5 to 10% on every single transaction?
That's the hidden cost. It eats into your margin gain dramatically. The 0% tax is great on paper, but if you can't reliably get money in or pay money out, your business is dead in the water.
Okay, beyond banking, the license has strict rules. Where can you not operate?
The rules are crystal clear, and if you break them, your license protection is gone. You are strictly prohibited from targeting the USA, the UK, France, Germany, the Netherlands, Australia, and Spain.
So basically every major regulated market.
Pretty much. And you can't target the local Comoros population either. If you target any of those places, you go from being a legal offshore operator to an illegal black market one overnight.
That's a huge restriction. And let's talk about player trust. The source mentioned verification challenges. That sounds bad.
It's a massive friction point. Think about it. Operators spend a fortune building brand trust. Part of that is the little license seal on your website that a player can click to verify you're legit.
Right, to see that you're real.
But the report mentions verification challenges, which means the official regulatory website has glitches, downtime. It's unreliable.
So a player clicks the seal on my site and gets a page not found error.
Exactly. Or license invalid. In that one moment, all the trust you spent thousands building is just gone. It screams scam to a player. It absolutely murders conversion rates.
Okay, finally, let's touch on the political risks, specifically France. Why is France a unique concern here?
This is where it moves from financial risk to, frankly, personal risk for executives.
How so?
Because of history and geography. The French territory of Mayotte is right next door to Comoros. So there are long-standing cooperation and, importantly, extradition treaties between France and Comoros.
So this isn't just theory. This affects where executives can travel.
Absolutely. The source material is clear on this. There's a moderate travel risk and a higher risk of legal enforcement if you're caught illegally targeting French citizens. You really have to think about where your directors live and where they travel.
Wow. So the summary here is an 8.8 for ease. But that ease comes with huge risks to your banking, your player trust, and even potentially your personal liberty.
That is the definition of a high-wire act. It is an extreme trade-off.
Okay, let's clarify something. Is Comoros a licensing hub, or is it a target market? Because if you could actually make money from local players, maybe it's worth the headache.
It is emphatically 100% a licensing hub. The player access score is a solid 8.2 out of 10, but you have to read the fine print.
Which is?
It's heavily qualified as infrastructure limited. The local economic reality makes it completely non-viable as a primary market.
Give us the numbers. What are the constraints?
Well, the population is just under 1 million, and it's very young. Median age is about 20, but the purchasing power is just incredibly low. The nominal GDP per capita is around $1,300 US a year.
That is not a high-value iGaming customer.
Not at all. And the digital infrastructure backs that up.
Right.
Internet penetration is low, somewhere between 15 and 20% overall, and that access is almost entirely mobile. So you have to be mobile first, very low bandwidth.
And how do people even pay for things? Is there a banking sector?
Barely. Bank account penetration is under 25% of adults. Cash is king.
So for a player to deposit?
It's all about mobile money. Things like M-Pesa variants, e-wallets linked to their phone company, credit cards or bank transfers. not scalable options at all.
And what are the few people who are betting actually playing?
It's mostly sports betting, that's about 45%, and then lottery and bingo, about 30%. And the spending is all low to medium stake bets. It reflects the low disposable income.
So bottom line on the local market,
The whole market size is estimated at a tiny 5 to 7 million euro a year.
completely non-viable.
Totally. Operators get the license for the 0% tax rate, and then they target global gray markets, Latin America, Africa, Southeast Asia. You export the license structure, you don't rely on the local market.
Okay. So let's get to the final verdict. This is the actionable takeaway. The initial investment is low, 25K to 40K. What's the break-even time on that?
But it's genuinely rapid. Our estimate is 3 to 6 months. That's the key differentiator.
Because there are no ongoing costs bleeding you dry.
Exactly. No GGR tax, minimal fixed fees. You hit profitability so much faster than in a fully regulated market. The high margin is immediate if you can solve the banking problem.
Right. So knowing that, knowing the huge bootstrapping advantage and the equally huge banking and reputational friction, who should actually pursue this license and who should run away screaming?
The success profile is very, very specific.
Okay, let's break it down. Who should enter?
First, crypto casino startups. If your whole model is based on crypto and you just need the easiest compliance path on the globe, this is it.
Makes sense.
Second, operators bootstrapping with very limited capital. If your total launch budget is under 50K, this might be your only viable entry point. And finally, companies focused entirely on those big emerging gray markets where regulation hasn't caught up yet.
Because they're already used to banking issues.
They're already living with that friction. It's part of their business model.
And on the flip side, who should avoid this at all costs?
Anyone targeting those strictly prohibited Tier 1 markets, USA, UK, France, you are just inviting catastrophic enforcement action.
Don't even think about it.
Also, any company that needs Tier 1 banking. If you need to deal with major global clearinghouses, you will fail. And lastly, any publicly traded company or one planning an IPO. The reputational risk and the compliance headache are simply too high a liability.
This has been incredibly illuminating. The Comoros license is it's a powerful tool. It offers speed and tax efficiency that are just unmatched for new operators.
It does.
But you have to accept this significant daily operational headache. This constant fight with banks and your own reputation becomes the cost of doing business.
That is the crucial calculation you have to make, is that huge initial margin from the 0% tax strong enough to absorb the continuous, unpredictable costs of just moving money around. It's a really challenging equation.
A truly high-stakes decision. Thank you for walking us through this, all based on the fantastic research from the gambling databases team.
It's a market that's really just defined by its own contradictions.
For the full text of this report and many others, you can visit our website at gamblingdatabases.com. We'll see you on the next analysis.